Welcome everybody to the Board of Education board meeting tonight. First of all, let me apologize why I'm wearing a hat tonight and I'm not dressed like I normally do. I had a little accident, so please excuse me. My face isn't dirty; it's just burned. So I haven't had a chance to shave or anything. So it's not out of disrespect to anybody in here or disrespect for the flag up here. It's because I have to keep my head covered. So if you bear with me, I apologize for that. So I'd like to get started with our meeting. Thank you all for coming. First of all, can we stand for a Pledge of Allegiance? And then after our Pledge of Allegiance, I would like to have a moment of silence in memory of Hanson's third grade elementary teacher, Cruz Hernandez. So if we can have a moment of silence for her after we do the Pledge of Allegiance, I'd appreciate it. Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Now, roll call, Monica, please.
Mr. Achuleta?
Here.
Dr. Hyde?
Here.
Mrs. Quintana? Here. Mr. Rolla?
Here.
Mr. Thomas?
Here.
I need an approval for the minutes of February the 27th, 2018.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? Now, roll call, Monica, please.
Mr. Achuleta?
Aye.
Dr. Hyde?
Aye.
Mrs. Quintana?
Aye.
Mr. Rolla?
Aye.
Mr. Thomas?
Aye.
I need a motion to approve the minutes of March the 8th, 2018.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? Now, roll call, Monica, please.
Mr. Achuleta?
Aye.
Dr. Hyde?
Aye.
Mrs. Quintana?
Aye.
Mr. Rolla?
Aye.
Mr. Thomas?
Aye.
I need to amend the agenda. So we'll have an amended agenda up here. From the superintendent's report, Ms. Medler is unable to attend this evening, and I'd also like to remove business item 2.3 under other, approval of out-of-state travel to St. Paul, Minnesota by the Classroom Teachers Association on March the 20th through the 23rd, 2018, per CTA's request.
Remove it.
Yes, I'm going to remove it.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, Monica, please.
Mr. Achuleta?
Aye.
Dr. Hyde?
Aye.
Mrs. Quintana?
Aye.
Mr. Rolla?
Aye.
Mr. Thomas?
Aye.
Now can I have a motion to accept the amended agenda?
Motion to accept it.
Second.
Any discussion? Can I have roll call, Monica, please?
Mr. Achuleta?
Aye.
Dr. Hyde?
Aye.
Mrs. Quintana?
Aye.
Mr. Rolla?
Aye.
Mr. Thomas?
Aye.
Let's move on to recognitions and celebrations.
Yes, Governing Board President, we have three. Our first two come to us from Adams City Middle School. At this time, I'd like to ask Principal Martin Pearson to come up here. And maybe when you're done, I think your assistant principal, Tanya's going to do the second one. So he'll do our first recognition.
Good evening, Mr. President, members of the Board of Education, and Dr. Abrego. Tonight, I want to celebrate and recognize a group of individuals that have provided legal services for our community without cost to the district. Early in the fall, Lacey Mueller, ACMS math teacher, and her husband, Greg Tasjan, recognized the needs of our community. Mr. Tasjan, an attorney with the Riggs Abney Law Firm, secured pro bono services for our families during 2 separate legal nights held at Adams City Middle School. On both of those nights, several members of our community were able to get their legal questions answered by a wide variety of talented lawyers. During these times, our community is constantly seeking the support and guidance of trained individuals who they can trust. Because of the work of Ms. Mueller, Mr. Tasden, and the attorneys from the Riggs Abney Law Firm, our goal of providing this level of service for the ACMS community has been realized. I want to take this moment to honor and say thank you to Ms. Mueller, Mr. Tasden, and the Riggs Abney Law Firm for helping the ACMS community by providing these free legal services.
Thank you.
Take a picture with
Would you like to say anything? So can we take a picture with you up here?
I'd like to thank the firm and all the attorneys there. I'm here on their behalf, but we had a number of attorneys who volunteered their time to help out, and I'd just like to say that the firm Riggs Abney, Neal Turpin, Orbison, and Lewis really does value partnerships like this and the ability to reach out and help the community.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. So can we start down and take a picture?
Connie, tell him to hand out the certificates.
Mr. President and the Board of Education, over the past year, Vicki Sordell has worked collaboratively to create a system to support our most at-risk students at Adams City Middle School. These students are performing far below grade level in academics and frequently found themselves in a lot of trouble. Ms. Sordell created a program called Eagle School to support students' academic, behavior, and social-emotional needs. Because of our program, we have experienced a third fewer expulsions at Adams City Middle School this year. In the past 9 weeks, Ms. Sordell's students have shown improvement in reading and math, as well as learning skills to keep them out of conflict. These students also take part in several community projects. Through our partnership with the Rocky Mountain Wildlife Refuge, Ms. Sordell's students have planted pollinator gardens on the refuge and are working to create a new pollinator and salsa garden at Adams City Middle School. We will have a congressional opening for the garden in April. Ms. Sordell has worked tirelessly over the past school year to create a program that is making sure all of our students are successful in middle school, high school, and beyond, and for this we are grateful for Ms. Sordell.
Say something. Take a picture.
Would you like to say something?
Much better in front of kids than adults. I just wanted to thank you for allowing Ms. Lopez and Mr. Pearson to put a program like this in place, because it is impacting kids in the first 9 weeks positively. Like she mentioned, 7 kids have increased their reading scores on the STAR reading test in 9 weeks, and 6 kids in math out of 14. So it's a different way to reach kids who have externalizing behaviors that aren't able to be successful in the general classrooms. So this intervention is helping them stay in school and not get expelled. So thank you.
Thank you. So can we take a picture with you?
We have one more board president. And the last celebration or recognition is we want to celebrate all of our assistant principals. So before we have them come up, let me read a little something for them on their behalf. Tonight, we shed the spotlight on a group that's always working diligently behind the scenes, making our schools run well, and serving our community in a top fashion. I'm talking about our assistant principals. This is a distinguished group of professionals who are tremendous leaders who are relied upon to do an incredible number of very important tasks. They're very good at doing the impossible and make it look easy. For example, they balance schedules, knitting together class times that not only come out balanced, but so that students are able to get the right mixture of elective and required courses. They become the school's finest safety experts in an era when no bomb threat is taken lightly and all lockdown drills are conducted with people doing their jobs in a quiet synchronization so that everyone stays safe. In many schools, the assistant principal is tasked with such glamorous jobs as patrol the school grounds looking for lost or wayward students, oversee the sale of discount cards, flower buds, and wrapping paper, and my favorite, volunteer to receive a pie in the face at a pep rally if students meet certain goals. All joking aside, assistant principals are the glue that often bind the staff and the students together while taking care of the things so the principal and others can do their best work. They truly dedicate themselves to our schools in so many ways. We're proud to stand with you to honor these exemplary leaders and express our fullest gratitude and appreciation to them for all they do. They are the best of the best. Congratulations to all our assistant principals.
If we could get them all to come up front, we'll take a picture with you, but we'll stand behind you this time because hopefully they're all here.
If we took a picture of each with you and the board down here and then a group picture.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure. So Cameron made a suggestion. We're going to take an individual school picture, and then we'll take a picture with all of you here, okay? So we'll start with...
We're going to take into, if all the APs would be willing to line up, and Kaden over there will help you line up in order. If the board can come down, we're going to take pictures with Alsup first. So Alsup can come on forward.
A. C.
So we're going to have all the board members and all up right here, and I will try to do this as quickly as possible. You with the board. That's the first picture. We will have principals in with the AP picture, APs. And the picture in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Wonderful. And central, please.
Tim, you should have just announced.
Here we go, ready. Oh, that's right. 1, 2, 3.
I didn't know we were going to go up there, so
I didn't either.
I didn't tuck in or anything.
Ready, 1, 2, 3.
Go over there. Wait.
I'll probably show this back to you.
Danny.
And 1. And all the pictures I take this evening will be easy to find. The Board of Education webpage at the bottom of the page. You'll be able to find those pictures and download them if you wish. Ready, 1, 2, 3. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. And APs and principals, don't get too comfortable because when we are done, we'll take a group picture with everybody. Ready, 1, 2, 3.
Yo no Did you see anyone from Leicester? Huh?
He said to recognize these.
Oh, she's here. Okay.
1, 2, 3. We're going to take a picture with Lester, the staff member, and then we'll call you back up.
Oh, one more?
Lester's not it?
One person coming. Sorry for the confusion. After this picture, we will have the board move back up onto the dais, and then if everybody can find a spot for the group picture. When you do that, tall people in back, less tall people in front. Make sure, you know, the faster we do this, the better for everyone. Ready? 1, 2, 3. And come on up and find your spots, please.
Don't. It's just because I'm so short. No, go ahead. No, you're good. No. You're fine.
If you can see the camera, it can see you.
You're fine. I was cheesy enough.
Thank you. Come like this way. And right here.
Got him. Like herding cats.
Let's hear it for assistant principal.
Minutes, Ken. Thank you.
Remember, you may want to wait.
Yeah, so if you want to stay for the meeting, you can stay, but if you've received your celebration and you want to leave, thank you very much for coming, and thank you for all you do.
Get some rest.
Thank you.
So now we're going to move into audience comments. Can I have Sylvia Hernandez, Senior?
This is a bilingual message.
Okay.
Thank you. No need to translate.
Buenas noches, miembros de la comunidad de Adams 14, mesa directiva. Soy la señora Silvia Hernández, soy vecina de la comunidad de Commerce City y madre de familia de 3 niños, una de preescolar, una de tercero y de 6º año. vengo a compartirles mi experiencia de bilingüismo con ustedes. Mi niño de sexto aparentemente es bilingüe, pues en casa hablamos español, pero estoy consternada porque a sus 11 años son pocas las ocasiones que mi hijo tiene una conversación conmigo en español. Por ejemplo, cuando vamos a misa, el padre dice su sermón, mi hijo voltea y me dice, mamá, ¿por qué no vamos a misa de inglés? Yo le digo, mira, mi hijo, yo le digo, es para que tengas un mejor futuro, es importante que entiendas y hables dos idiomas. Le digo que si oye más español, lo va a entender más. En contraste, mi niña de tercer grado, ella ha estado en el programa bilingüe desde el primer año. Mi niña solamente no habla, lee y escribe el español. Ella me manda mensajes de texto en su idioma, pues lo sabe escribir. Yo veo que para ella es más fácil entender e interactuar el español. Sus hermanos la usan como diccionario para que me diga lo que ellos no saben decirme. El viernes 2 de marzo hubo una junta casual con los miembros de la mesa directiva. Ahí la mesa directiva anunció que quiere trabajar con nosotros, con las familias. Yo creo que para trabajar juntos todos debemos de conocernos y conocer lo que queremos. Para mí es importante que mis hijos crezcan dentro de una familia que se pueda comunicar. He visto en nuestra comunidad cómo las familias que la conforman sufren porque los papás como yo no pueden comunicarse con sus hijos en inglés. Yo no quiero eso para mi familia. Además he visto cómo mucha gente blanca que habla español se beneficia de esta habilidad que nuestros hijos en el distrito ya tienen. El programa de biliteracidad hasta el 5º año ayudaría a nuestros niños y niñas a aprender los idiomas al mismo tiempo. Presidente Archuleta, ayude a nuestros niños a mejorar su situación económica. Dele la oportunidad de trabajar con sus mentes y no con sus manos. Gracias.
Thank you.
Good evening, members of the Adams 14 Community Board of Directors. My name is Silvia Hernandez. I'm a neighbor in the Commerce City community and a mother of 3 children, one in preschool, 3rd and 6th year. I'm here to share my experiences with bilingualism with you. My 6th grader is apparently bilingual because we speak Spanish at home. But I'm dismayed because at 11, there are few occasions when my child can understand or interact in Spanish. For example, when we go to Mass and the priest says his sermon, my son does not understand it. He looks at me and asks, why don't we go to Mass in English? I tell him, I tell him that to have a better future, it's important that he understands and speaks 2 languages. I tell him that if he hears more Spanish, he will understand more. In contrast, my student in 3rd grade, who has been in the biliteracy program since the 1st year, not only speaks, reads, and understands Spanish, she texts me messages in our language because she knows how to write in Spanish. I see that it's easier for her to understand and interact in Spanish. His brothers use her as a dictionary to tell me what they don't know how to say. On Friday, March 2nd, there was a casual meeting with the members of the board. There, the board announced that they want to work with us families. I believe that to work together, we must all know each other and understand our desires. For me, it is important that my children grow up within a family that can communicate. I have seen in our community how some families suffer because parents like me cannot communicate with their children in English. I do not want that for my family. Also, I have seen how many white people who speak Spanish benefit from that skill that our children in the district already have. The biliteracy program until the 5th year would help our children learn both languages at the same time. President Archuleta and members of the board, help our children to improve their economic situation. Give them the opportunity to work with their minds, not just with their hands. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you. Thank you. Muchas gracias. Maribel Pasillas.
It's another bilingual message.
Buenas noches, Comunidad de Adams 14, honorable mesa directiva. Soy la señora Pasillas y también soy residente de la comunidad de Commerce City y madre de familia de 2 niños que asisten a la escuela en el distrito 14, en primero y sexto año. Yo les quiero contar que desde el 12 de diciembre del año pasado he estado siguiendo lo que acontece con el programa de biliteracidad. Cuando mi niño de primer año se enteró de que estamos peleando el programa, se preocupó de que ya no fuera a tener sus clases en español. Cuando regresé a la junta del 9 de enero, mi niño me pidió hacerle un cartel que dijera, quiero ser bilingüe. Él está muy contento de saber los 2 idiomas. Se enorgullece de poder ayudar a su hermano mayor, que no tuvo la oportunidad de estudiar en el programa de biliteracidad. En otra ocasión, me tocó cuidar a mi niño y a su amigo que asiste a clases de solo inglés. Como he escuchado que es bueno hablar con ellos, los puse a practicar las palabras que les dejan de tarea. Sin afán de presumir, mi niño demostró saber más palabras que el otro pequeño. Yo creo que los niños en el programa bilingüe aprenden más que los que están en un solo idioma. Esto, además de indicar que la biliteracidad es mejor para los niños, también habla de que necesitamos cuidar a nuestros maestros bilingües. Con su arduo trabajo les enseñan a nuestros niños a razonar tanto en inglés como en español. Me gustaría saber a qué conclusión llegaron los miembros de la mesa directiva después de la reunión del 2 de marzo. Tenemos niños que están a punto de pasar a 4º grado y necesitan de un maestro competente que les ayude a enseñar a razonar tanto en inglés como en español. Gracias por su atención.
Thank you.
Good evening, Adams 14 community, honorable board of directors. My name is Ms. Pasillas, Maribel Pasillas, and I'm also a neighbor of the Commerce City community and the mother of 2 children who attend the school in the district, a student in 1st and 6th grade. I wanted to share with you that I've been following what happens with the biliteracy program since December 12th of last year. When my 1st grade boy found out that we're fighting to keep the biliteracy program, he worried that he would no longer have his classes in Spanish. When I returned to the board meeting on January 9th, my child asked me to make a sign for him stating, I want to be bilingual. And you can see that on the screen there. He's very happy to be able to know both English and Spanish. He's proud to be able to help his other brothers who did not have the opportunity to study in the biliteracy program. On another occasion, I had to take care of my child and his friend who attends only English classes in the district. As I've heard that it's good to practice their words with them, I put them to practice words of the homework. Bragging aside, my child proved to know more words than his friend in the only English class. I believe that children in the bilingual program learn more than those in English-only classes. This is my experience to attest that biliteracy is better for children. It also tells us that we need to take care of our bilingual teachers, whose hard work supports our children's reasoning skills in both English and Spanish. With that, I would like to know what conclusion the board members reached after our meeting on March 2nd. Many families have children who are about to move into 4th grade and need a competent teacher who can teach them to reason in both English and Spanish. Thank you for your attention and your timely response to my query.
Thank you. Amanda Gonzalez.
Hello, Adams 14 Board of Education. Tonight I stand before you as a concerned parent, a former employee, and a community advocate, and ask that you come to the table and work with our community to change the state of our schools. We know that our schools are not performing the way that they need to be in order for our children to be prepared for college and beyond. After willfully leaving Adams 14, I've worked in Denver Public Schools. I have seen what transformational education models look like. I have seen kids who come into middle school grade levels behind. I have seen what hard work and data-driven instruction can do to catch those kids up. And by the time that they graduate, they are not only ready for college, but ready to thrive. I believe that this can be the future of Adams 14, but only with strong leadership, a willingness to bring true research-based innovation and change, and a partnership with parents, community, and school staff rooted in trust, collaboration, and respect. I believe in this district. I believe in a lot of the people working in this district. I believe in the parents who are asking for the district to do the right thing. I also believe that if we all come to the table and work together as a whole, community, parents, the Board of Education, administrators, and teachers, that we can create a solution that meets our needs as a unique community and does what is best for our kids. I will be at the Acabe Parent Action Meeting on April 28th, and I hope that you, as leaders of the district, come to the table to present an ambitious plan to move our city's children forward into a bright future. Thank you.
Thank you. Guillermo Serna.
Guillermo Serna, 14122 East 102nd Place, Commerce City, Colorado. You are being tested. You have a second chance. And for these last 2-3 years, I've seen changes on the board. And each time there's a change, the children get hurt. The advances that have been made in the past are contradicted by new direction, new counseling. But you, the board, represent the people, and most important, the future of these children. Why can't you not come up with a simple solution and listen to what these parents are saying? They want to help you. But you're going to have to make a decision as to how you present yourselves. I've been watching you on TV. It doesn't look good. I'll tell you that. You're asking for trust, yet I see contradictions and not saying, okay, I'll support whatever the majority brings into play. I see bringing in programs for, let's say, the athletic department, but they're still left out. I'm still waiting to see what's going to happen with the uniforms at the high school. Those kids are urging to be part of there. These are kids that don't do sports. These are kids that hit the books. These kids can be productive in both programs. And that's why we have that. And that's why the Office of Civil Rights, in a sense, said, you're getting a second chance. But by God, if you don't do it, the charter schools are going to be taking the most important kids, the ones that are the leadership of the young kids that they're coming up with. Take a look at it. Make that decision, but you have to give the direction to the superintendent, to the administrators of what you really want. You took an oath. Take a look at it. Get yourself educated in perspective to what board members work with the superintendent, how you get advice from a lawyer to give you the opportunity to make the right decisions. And no more bickering. Go out to the community. Don't get yourself into a rut where you're looking at, oh, this school belongs to me, this school belongs to me. All the schools belong to you. You represent the whole community. And you should not just visit one school. You should visit all of them, because you're holding this gentleman over here accountable. You're holding the principals and the vice principals accountable. The meetings for school boards is the time for community to give you input. You're going to celebrate administrators, do it at the right time, at the end of the year, where we know whether we've been productive or not. Right now, we're still in the same place I was 40 years ago, and we're going down. Take a look at it. Educate yourselves on procedures. Educate yourselves on what are the envisions of other school districts throughout the nation, and what are they doing that's right, not what they're doing wrong. If you don't open yourselves to going out and looking at what other school districts are doing, that new director of education at the national level is going to destroy public education. These kids, you give them the challenge, you give them the right teachers, you give them the right training, you give them the opportunity to help you, and they'll help you. But enough is enough. Our kids we cannot lose our kids anymore. You're going to lose another 50 to 65% of the graduation rate here in District 14. Because you have to set your mind as to where you need to go and let administrators know where you want to go and what you're going to support, and stick to it. Sustainability, longevity, and giving programs the opportunity to be successful. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Take a look at this hat here. There's 3 portions there. NABE, National Association of Bilingual Educators. Parents have gone through this for 40-some years. And it's not their fault. They were brought here. What happens when you bring people here? They have kids. It's our responsibility to educate them, because where they come from, okay, and how they come from, okay, they're not mentioned by illegals. They're mentioned as a person. We have to start looking at the environment of the school system, and that's our children. If we don't, our kids are not going to be successful, regardless of the innovation and all that. Put that innovation into practice. Put it into action. And then participate with the decisions that you make. It's not just saying, I'm going to be a school board member. It's in committing to it for the benefit of the children and making sure that the money is spent well. Teachers need direction from administrators. And I know that I come up here year after year after year, but I keep seeing children that could be lawyers with 2 languages. I could be seeing 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 more lawyers that could assist these people in their rights. Because these kids come back. They're here. And they want to help. You need new schools. The city is going to grow. And this area is going to be left behind, because the parents need to be behind you. You need to know what's happening around you also with the city. Work with them. Work with the city. Work with the fire department. Work with the police. These are opportunities for these kids to have role models. We have to understand, and all of you have got to understand, that the minority is now the majority. And those kids need to be educated. If it takes 2 languages, 3 languages, do it. Because everybody else is doing it. And they're being successful. Take a look at the Olympics.
Thanks, Guillermo.
Okay.
Time's up.
Thank you.
Thank you. Joanne Rosa. I think it's Maria Guadalupe also.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, hello. My name is Joanna Rosa, and I am a community organizer with Acabe Padres. We work to empower the parents to fight for the education of their children. And I would like to start by thanking each of you. I'd like to thank the board for attending the parent board meeting. Thank you, Timio, for coming up with that idea and making it possible for the parents to speak to you at a very normal level. Also, I'd like to thank you, Mr. Rolla, for taking time to speak with me on our own and letting me know that speaking with Abrego was a really good idea. And then for today's meeting that I had with Mr. Archuleta, Mr. Rolla, and Dr. Abrego, thank you for your time. I know we went over the time that we had, but I think it was pretty impactful as we have now been coming up with solutions. I come to you tonight bearing the weight of the stories of the parents within your district. Parents who recognize that their children and children across Commerce City deserve better. Parents who are organized and will no longer stand by and accept the status quo. It is time to step up or step down, as was stated at the board meeting. And it is your responsibility to lead our kids. Not just that, but our parents are here to help assist, be the first teacher for the children. We as a community need a clear commitment from you, our elected officials, that you will fulfill the responsibility bestowed by the voters of this city and do the hard work needed to provide the education our community deserves. I stand here tonight not for the parents, but with the parents. Our parents are here tonight, and their pain speaks through me because their culture of fear, created by threats and retaliation against students and their parents who have spoke against the policies of this board and the board's schools. They receive threats about their immigration status. Their kids get suspended. Principals ignore the brave parent leaders who advocate for their kids, or parent leaders who are brought into schools and intimidated. Children are denied their education because their parents want better for them. They speak through me tonight. This is the reality of the family of Adams 14. Tonight we stand here together as one, and we ask the Board of Education to come to the table. It is your responsibility to educate the kids, and I would like to ask, do you know how many kids can read on grade level in your district? Not nearly enough, right, Mr. Abrego? Do you know how many amazing, beautiful, bilingual kids whose potential we are limited? Too many. Too many are losing that communication, like in Sylvia's home, not being able to communicate with the child. Do you know how many kids are graduating on time and going to college? Not enough. Where are the counselors? It's time to step up or step down for the kids. Lastly, today while I was meeting, we thought of a solution, right? And Mr. Abrego had said that beyond textbooks is not English only. Is that correct, Mr. Abrego? Correct. And also, Mr. Archuleta, communicating is very important to you, school and the DAC, right? Is that correct? Rolla, educating the community, communication, and holding them accountable. Were those your words? Okay. So the question that I had spoke with the parents about, I believe Guadalupe just had one question for you.
Joana nos comentó acerca de la junta que tuvo con ustedes. Ella nos comentó que usted, señora Abrego, había dicho que el dar al cuarto grado un programa bilingüe iba a ser un daño para nuestros hijos. Me interesa saber qué daño, por qué es el daño.
Okay, so her question was what we spoke about, and I know I'm over time, just if I can have 30 more seconds. Is that okay, Ms. Quintana? Mr. Archuleta? Yes. Okay, thank you. Was that we spoke earlier, and I had spoke with the parents, and one comment that you said that if they proceeded with the biliteracy program in the 4th grade, you believed that that would be hurting the children more if you pushed them on, and she wanted to know why that was said, and because they would like their children to have it in 4th grade. So she just wanted a response back from you regarding that.
Pardon me? For me? Well, that was for me?
It was for Dr. Abrego, and I don't know if he could answer. He looked at you.
Do you want to answer?
Can you say what was the quote that you said I said?
Oh, sure. So we had talked about the biliteracy education and having them there for 4th grade. And you had said, and I quote, it would be hurting them more if you push them on to the 4th grade, the biliteracy.
Well, you've got it sort of half right and half wrong.
Okay.
I said it would hurt our students if we force them on to 4th grade without having highly qualified teachers and criteria to enter and exit the program. And, of course, if we do have the program, we have to have fidelity to the program. So all these are very important components that we have to have in place when we move the program forward.
Okay.
So I didn't say it was biliteracy was going to hurt them. I said if you place them in there without highly qualified teachers.
Okay. And as you know, it was a very informal meeting, so I was trying to take notes, but I wanted to bring clarity to them. And I'm just going to say yes or no, and that's it. So do you commit to working with the community to explore a possible new external management that will support bilingual education? Yes or no, Mr. Rolla?
What was that?
Do you commit to working with the community to explore a new external management company that is supportive of bilingual education? Yes or no? Yes, okay. Mr. Harvest?
Can you elaborate on that question, please?
Sure.
What you mean by external? Can you be more formal about it?
Sure. So the external, I believe that now in place it's beyond textbooks. Is that correct? So would you be open to committing to explore a new external management if, in fact, the data doesn't show the beyond textbooks?
Truthfully speaking, we can't answer that yes or no. Anybody up here can say yes just to pacify y'all, say no, but truthfully speaking, it's in the CDE.
Okay.
It's hard for us to sit up here and just say we're going yes. We can't change it. And there go John, the lawyer, right there, and he can explain more to you than we can. And that's the truth. Am I right, John?
I'm happy to explain.
Yes.
Yeah. But the public comment is a time to hear comment, not to engage in a Q&A session.
Okay. So then my last thing, I know that it was mentioned for Saturday, April 28th. Would you all commit to working with the community by meeting with our parent leaders that Saturday, and we can figure out the logistics to report your progress in specific learning to the group? Is that something that I can ask, Attorney?
Not at this time.
Okay. Well, thank you. We see that our allies to our community, for those who are there to help teach our children, we present you the opportunity to work with us. And again, I really appreciate your guys' time, and thank you for listening to our parents.
Thank you.
Have a good evening.
Quisiera agregar algo así nomás de mi punto de vista. Les pediría, por favor, ustedes han pedido muchas veces respeto de nosotros. En aquella ocasión cuando tuve que la doctora Lechuga salió, perdón si por los nombres no los puedo decir, pero en aquella ocasión que ella salió lastimada de aquí, o como haya salido, nos pidieron respeto para las personas, ¿verdad?, que trabajan para ustedes. Ahora yo les pido que también respeten a los padres y los escuchen, no pretendan que nos escuchan. Por favor, escúchenos y tomen las cosas muy en serio, que para eso estamos aquí todos. No queremos perder nada más nuestro tiempo. De hecho, es para los niños. Gracias.
They just asked for, Dr. Archuleta had asked for respect regarding what had happened, so all they're asking for is respect on behalf of them and the parents.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Jorge Garcia.
My name is Jorge Garcia, Executive Director of Cabe Adams 12 School District is our address. We've come before you over the last several months to advocate for teachers, parents, students in Adams 14, to provide support, including criticism and some input to improve academic performance and advocating for the civil rights of all students to an equal education. We've repeatedly said that we look to you, members of the Board of Education, for leadership. We look to you to hold this administration accountable for integrity, honesty, expertise, and transparency. Ultimately, we look to you because you do have the power and the authority and the responsibility not only to oversee, but to direct what goes on in this district. It's not CDE or the OCR that need to hold the administration accountable for following the turnaround plan or for ensuring that civil rights aren't violated, but you. That's why we look to you for that leadership. Thank you for turning down the superintendent's recommendation to spend $95,000 to send 18 staff to San Francisco. That was a good decision. But you can't make good decisions without good information. Couple of facts. Sheila Burke is the Director of Federal Programs. Aracelia Burgos is your Chief Academic Officer.
Excuse me.
Yeah, we can't use names.
I mean, it's just for clarity for everybody. I'm not going to use the names in context,
I
okay?
understand that, but we can't use names. If you just use their classifications,
Case in
you know
point.
what their classifications are.
Case in point, at your work session on March 8th, your Director of Federal Programs made a mistake. You didn't know it, but she did. How did she handle it? Before the meeting was even over, she came back to you and she said, I misspoke earlier. And then she gave you the correct information immediately. Professional, honest, well prepared. She was on top of it. Contrast that with the Chief Academic Officer. On February 27th, she told you that the district pays $15,000 per teacher to get their master's in linguistically and culturally diverse education. After I had told you that you could get 20 teachers fully endorsed for $95,000. Now that's $4,750 per teacher. Her figure was $15,000. Me, 20 teachers. Her, 6 teachers. The truth, I've given you the memorandum of understanding that shows you that it's 20 teachers. How did she handle it? She was wrong. Has she told you that she misspoke? Has she provided you with the correct figures? The students of this district need you to make good decisions. But how can you make good decisions when you receive bad information from some members of the staff? At some point, a mistake, uncorrected, becomes a lie. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Lucinda Sotero Gonzalez.
Good evening. I'm going to give my comments in Spanish first and then in English, so I won't need interpretation. Estimados miembros de la mesa directiva y de la comunidad de Adams 14, doctora Abrego, mi nombre es Lucinda Soltero González, coordinadora de ELD en el distrito. Vengo ante ustedes para dar testimonio de cómo el trabajo del departamento de ELD ha sido saboteado y cómo he sido sujeta a hostigamiento desde que el director de ELD fue suspendido. Considero sabotaje el limitar el liderazgo del departamento de ELD, que se encarga de darle servicios necesarios a los alumnos identificados como aprendices del inglés o English learners, quienes representan casi el 50% en el distrito. El cancelar las evaluaciones que se habían hecho por los últimos 2 años para monitorear la lectura y la escritura de los niños en español y en inglés lo considero sabotaje. Limitar mi apoyo a los maestros a un día a la semana, lo considero sabotaje. ¿Lo bajo? Agendar por la tarde el desarrollo profesional para los maestros bilingües, lo considero sabotaje. La directiva de Dr. Abrego hacia el personal de ELD de relegar a un segundo plano la enseñanza en español en los 32 salones bilingües, lo considero sabotaje. También siento que he sido expuesta a hostigamiento por parte de la Chief Academic Officer, actualmente directora interina de ELD, quien persistentemente me ha excluido de juntas, toma de decisiones, entrenamientos en el distrito. Siento que he recibido un trato diferente de esta persona al negarme que participe en actividades relevantes, lo cual ha creado un ambiente hostil. Fui invitada a trabajar en Adams 14 debido a mis competencias bilingües y biculturales, a mi especialidad en prácticas educativas y de evaluación efectivas. Tengo casi 20 años de experiencia en educación, la mitad de ese tiempo sirviendo en escuelas y la otra mitad como profesora e investigadora en la Universidad de Colorado. La cultura de miedo, represalias contra el personal y las familias latinas que los dirigentes de este distrito ha creado, está causando que excelentes educadores se vayan del distrito. El director de ELD y yo somos latinos, hablantes de español. Ambos se nos ha marginalizado. La persona que queda en el departamento es anglo y no habla español. Tanto el director de ELD como yo tenemos un doctorado en educación. La persona que queda en el departamento no tiene un doctorado. Le pido a la mesa directiva que tomen acciones inmediatas para resolver las preocupaciones presentadas por la comunidad de Adams 14. Y para proteger mi salud, mi bienestar emocional y el de mi familia, me siento forzada a presentar hoy mi renuncia.
Thank you.
Esteemed members of the board and the Adams 14 community in Dr. Abrego. My name is Lucinda Soltero Gonzalez, District ELD Coordinator. I come before you to provide testimonial of how the work of the ELD department has been sabotaged and how I have been subject to harassment since the ELD director was put on administrative leave. I see as sabotage the curtailing of the ELD department leadership in charge of providing necessary services to the students identified as ELLs, who represent over 50% of the population in our district. Canceling assessment practices that had been used for the past 2 years to monitor students' literacy trajectories in Spanish and English, I see as sabotage. Limiting my instructional time in schools to only 1 day a week, I see as sabotage. Scheduling all the professional development for bilingual teachers after school, I see as sabotage. Dr. Abrego says that he supports biliteracy education. However, his directive to the ELD director was to relegate native language instruction in the 32 bilingual classrooms as a secondary responsibility, and I see that as a sabotage. I have also felt that I've been subject to harassment by the Chief Academic Officer, now interim ELD director, who has persistently excluded me from meetings and decision-making and from district trainings. I feel that I have persistently received a different treatment from this person by being denied participation in relevant activities to my job, which has created mistrust and a hostile work environment. I was brought to Adams 14 because of my bilingual and bicultural background and my expertise on research-based language and assessment practices. I have almost 20 years of experience in education, half of it serving in schools, the other half as a teacher, educator, and researcher at the University of Colorado. The culture of fear and retaliation created by the current district administration towards Latino staff and families is driving great educators out of the district. The ELD director and I are both Latino Spanish speakers, and we both are being pushed out. The person who's left in the department is white and does not speak Spanish. The ELD director has a PhD in educational equity and cultural diversity, and I have a PhD in language, reading, and culture. The person who's left has neither. I urge the School Board of Education to take immediate actions to resolve the concerns brought forth by the Adams 14 community. And in order to protect my health and my emotional well-being and that of my family, I am forced to resign. And quite honestly, in my opinion, I'm being fired. Thank you.
Thank you. Raven Watley.
Good evening, distinguished board and Superintendent Dr. Abrego. My name is Raven Simone Watley, and I'm a first grade teacher at Rose Hill Elementary. For the past 5 years, I've been there. Dr. Abrego, in the beginning of the year, our guest speaker challenged us to find our purpose. I'll tell you my purpose. My purpose is to fight for equal treatment for students, parents, and myself. My purpose as an educator is to provide all students a rigorous and 5-star education. But my greatest purpose is to inspire every child and adult to be the best person that they can be. Tonight, I was asked to stand before you to raise awareness for the lives of minorities in the Adams 14 School District community. I stand before you as the only African American teacher at Rose Hill. I wear and share my culture with pride and confidence. I also encourage my students, families, and staff to share their culture all year long. Recently, I graduated with my master's in teaching application, specifically for minority students. In my research, it was found that minority teachers are in the position to stop negative stereotypes and act as role models and mentors for students of color. Since being at Rose Hill, I have created a STEP team, which has actually performed here for you. And I also have a Black Girl Magic Club, both successfully showing that I am a role model for this community and inspiration for these students. So, if the community can embrace my culture, why is it that my district, which serves 80% of minorities, cannot embrace the person that stands before you today? In a time where media is embracing who we are and accepting me, I do not feel that here in this district. Every year since 2013, I have had to file some kind of discrimination report because of how I look and my appearance. And every year, miraculously, my reports have gone missing. When the district initiated Courageous Conversations, I felt supported, appreciated, and hopeful that I can support this community the way it deserves. As well as my coworkers in the community, they were feeling supported. But unfortunately, those conversations have gone silent. And I'm left once again feeling unvalued. So I ask you all, what is your plan? How do you plan on supporting the teachers of color? How do you plan on supporting all teachers? How do you plan on supporting students, and most of all, students of color? I initially was not going to speak tonight in fear of retaliation in my building and through the district. And as you've heard tonight, most people are feeling that as well. Having a fear like this should not even be a problem, but it is. And standing behind me, I have supporters, my family, my colleagues, and other minority teachers in this district. So, remembering my purpose. My purpose is to inspire others. So by me speaking out today, I hope that others can share their truth. Thank you.
Thank you.